Hey guys, and welcome to another hobby news. Okay, so before we get started, I think I'll just do another little shameless plug as I've just released a new model, so I'd like to show it off before we get into the real reason why you're here. So let's come down and click on this guy and take a look. All right, so yeah, just would have been on Monday. I released this, the Cave Beast. I talked about it last time, so I just thought I'd show you. You come to the Blighter Gods website, the store page, come down to the bottom here, and you'll see my little Cave Beast. So he's free right now for the whole month of May, or you can support me for $3 if you want to, but he's free. You just click on this, and boom, there we are. So it shows, the digital sculpt as well and how close it is to the print here that I painted up in the picture. So yeah, you just click on add to cart and away you go, and you can print him out. And then after May, he'll be like $3 like the others. And there's one more after this in this series. If we go back, there is basically 6 of them in the series. So this one up here, actually, the Kragnos model, he's actually free all the time, so you can pick him up as well. So there's at least 2 you can get. And then, yeah, next month there'll be one more for free for a month. So, yeah, just thought I'd show you that. If you're into 3D printing and stuff, these are all really fun to, practice paint schemes and all that kind of stuff on. They're all 2.5 inches tall. These ones that you see here all been done in on resin printers at 50 microns. So, yeah, really cool. And yeah, I think that's it for my shameless plug, and we'll go on to the normal proceedings. So let's start with the first big thing. So we'll jump over to here. Yep. So we've got Warhammer Fest. So day 1 catch up. So we'll take a look at what's been shown before we get into what we can see here. These guys, which we'll have a bit of a look at. We may as well get the little tiny piece of 40k that's come out alongside it, even though today is meant to be a AOS day. And we'll just jump across. Here he is. So it looks like yeah, we're getting some new orc stuff. This is alongside, I think, the snagger ones or whatever, I guess they're the savage orcs or whatever they're calling them now. So we've got, yeah, beast snaggers or whatever they are. So let's see, we've got some information at the top. Yeah, so as you might expect, a group of orcs that hang around almost exclusively with big, angry squigs suffer more than their fair share of injuries before they even get to the fighting. With such a constant demand for dorks services, doc services, sorry, not dork, although he does look a little dorky with that tin hat on. So yeah, sorry, doc's services. It comes as no surprise that many of the beast snaggers get rather good at the art of battlefield surgery. So yeah, that's a bit of a tall statement. They're not really doing surgery. I'm pretty sure it's still in the law that these guys just believe in whatever they're doing and then it becomes real. So, they might think they're good at, doing surgeries and being a doctor, but when really they're just butchers. But it still works, because they believe in it. It's part of the magic of orcs. Well, I hope that's still in the law. I'm sure it is somewhere there. So known as the pain boss, these enterprising surgeons transcend the simple genetic knowledge of the pain boys and develop greater medical skills than many assume orcs are capable of. They're particularly favoured by the beast snaggers for their knowledge of squig physiology, giving them the ability to graft crude bionics and armor plates to their steeds when the needs arise. Yeah, cool. So I've always loved these. Back in the old days, the old pain boy models, the metal ones, they're always really cool. So this is just, going in the same vein as all of that. We've got like some little additions though, like I like all this sort of stuff that's going on in the background here. You've got the, what looks like they're, it looks like they're using the squig as like like a blood bag, and they're taking the juices out of it and into some kind of pot at the back here, I guess, to inject into someone. I don't know, but that's a new idea. That's pretty cool. And we've got I love this, the legs here. I can see tons of conversion possibilities for this one. I think tons of orc players are going to be very happy with this being released. There's a lot of cool stuff you could do here. The helmet's cool. It's a little bit, a bit dorky, right? So that's it's not the not the most flattering helmet, but it's still cool. But it looks like it's very convertible. That head's quite separate. So even if it's joined, you'd easily be able to cut that off. Everything here looks pretty good. The legs here are probably the best bit of the whole thing. This bionics here, I think that's actually pretty new to have that kind of, I guess, animal-like walker legs on an orc. That's pretty new. I don't think there's any other orc that's got something like this. But yeah, that's really, really cool. I could see a lot of conversion. So that's really nice for orcs. Let's get some close-ups. No, they don't show the legs, the best bit. But yeah, here we can see the squig and whatever kind of crazy mixture that's all going into to, I guess, help other orcs or the squigs or whatever. Yeah, all really, really cool. And then we come down to this. This is a really interesting one. So we've got a little. Do they still call them Gretchen? Yeah, they do. Okay, cool. So a little Gretchen with a little wheel here, and he's riding around. That's just really cool. I wonder what he's about. Let's have a look. So we'll see. Well, it's common for docs of all kinds to keep a few Gretchen around to carry supplies, hold wounds open, and be clenched in the jaw. During particularly painful amputations, the grot orderlies that accompany a pain boss need a few modifications of their own to keep up. Why have tiny runty legs when you can have a motorbike wheel? Yeah, exactly. So that's really cool. So there must be like additions to him in his war gear options or whatever. I haven't seen the Orc Codex since I've been back in the hobby, so I'm not sure what kind of add-ons they get, but yeah, this must be part of his war gear, which is really cool. That's just a great model, and I can definitely see a bunch of orc players loving the fact that this thing exists. So that's really cool. Definitely a lot of speed freak armies would love to have this type of thing in their, on the top of their vehicles and stuff like that. So that's all really cool. Does it say? Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't seem to say when it's going to be released, but I'm assuming orcs are coming soon because they've been releasing a bunch of stuff. So I'm sure that it will be, coming along pretty soon. So yeah, really, really nice. That's all really, really cool. It's nice to see orcs get some love. Okay, so now we've done all that, and yeah, it looks all really great. I'm assuming that will be coming soon, within the next few months. Let's take a look at the first big one. We're going to save the best for last, and I'm an undead player, so we'll be saving the more cooler models till the end, but we'll start with the big boy. So here we go. Here he is. So Kragnos, I guess he's a demigod of destruction, and looks like he'll be leading the new book, the Broken Realms book, which I believe is now the last one in the series that they've been running. And this guy looks like he's on a 130mm base or something really large. So as far as I can tell, this is meant to be one of those centerpiece models that you can use for all destruction armies, as far as I can tell. It looks like he'll be able to be allied in. Probably a lot of points. His rules are going to be ridiculous, I would imagine, considering the flamboyance and ostentation of this model. You want to hope his rules are pretty awesome, right? But it's a nice choice. Centaurs are cool, and I think that it ties in with a lot of their other sculpts and other things that they're doing. If you have a look at the ogre armies and stuff like that, or beasts, this fits in perfectly in those sorts of scenarios, but also for giants and orcs as well. They're all able to use this, so there's definitely some really nice possibilities there, and he's actually pretty, free. Like the parts here are pretty easy to cut off or change. I could definitely see some really fun conversions here as well, if you wanted to theme it more towards your army and give him a bit more of a personalized look, because a lot of this stuff is superfluous sort of information. It's just sitting on the surface, so you could easily just cut away a lot of this and put more orky type ones. If you're running an orc army, you could probably change this up, change the shield, do a bunch of stuff to this to more orcify it. I don't know whether the Kragnos would like that very much. You might be calling down some bad mojo on you. You might be losing all your games, but it would look cool, right? You could do like a whole bunch of stuff like that to further jazz this up to make it fit in. Like his armor changes depending on his allegiance or something. Just morphs around, and because he's a god, so he could pretty much be wearing anything. Like it's not it doesn't really matter what he's got on, because he's a god. So anyway, but yeah, it looks really cool. I'm sure you know, a lot of Destruction players will be happy to get this. I could even see some really nice, I don't know if everyone remembers, like, I don't know if they're even still around, but the old Shaggoth models where you had the dragon body and then the beast upper body, but that nice difference, change of color from light to dark. I could see some real fun paint schemes for this where you're, you know, do more of like a black horse or a dark brown horse or something like that, and then fade up and into a lighter upper body, or even like a pale tone, like put almost sort of almost mauve colors, or that sort of like something like around his tail or a bit darker, and coming up into like a really pale white flesh. That would look really, really cool, something like that, or like a black stallion down here with, you know, that sort of thing. That would be really, really fun. And instead of this sort of green bronze or whatever, you might do like gold or something like that, or like a silver gold, like that kind of color. That might be really nice too. So yeah, let's have a look at his details. So yeah, all really nice, very sort of ancient design kind of stuff to fit in with his lore, I guess. Yeah, it looks all really cool. It reminds me a lot of sort of South American kind of stuff, or maybe Central American kind of motifs and design. I guess just with the green, you know, and all these little trinkets and so on, it just feels like these little discs. It feels kind of similar to those sort of I guess designs, you know, that sort of stuff, for ancient cultures and stuff. This sort of thing where you get like the little borders around the edge here, and then your sort of stylized motif in the center, the mountains there. Yeah, it's really cool. It's very, very, very nice. And this, I don't know what this is, like a little doll or something like that sitting on his base. That's really cool. So yeah, let's see what we can see about what they talk about him. Here we go. The last survivor of an ancient race, Kragnos is like nothing we've seen in Warhammer Age of Sigmar. He's worshipped as a god by the forces of destruction, and it's easy to see why. He towers over all but the Mega Gargants, and tales of his might have been passed down since the Age of Myth. Kragnos is a nigh unstoppable juggernaut of destruction, especially when wielding the legendary shield, Tuskbreaker, armed with the dread mace made from the heart of a mountain. His realm-splitting might becomes truly cataclysmic. Having hunted the ancient race of drakes nearly to extinction for little more than sport, there's not much left that can survive his focused rage. Yeah, he's cool. So I'm sure these rules here will you know, be pretty welcome sight. It looks like he's meant to be pretty good against magic, I think. Is that what it is? So let's see. The shield, yep. Each time this model is affected by a spell or an endless spell ability, you can roll 3d6. If the roll is greater than the casting value of that spell or endless spell, ignore the effects of that spell or endless spell ability on this model. So yeah, it looks like he's going to be good at negating magic and that sort of thing. And yeah, I haven't played too much games of AOS yet, or in fact none, so I'm only new back into AOS. I'm an old fantasy player, so a lot of this stuff is a bit of double dutch to me, because yeah, I'm still learning it all, but like I'm sure players that know more than me will be able to enjoy this. So yeah, all really cool. All right, now let's get on to the real reveal here, okay, for this one. Here we go. Bang, there it is. So this is really, really cool. I really like this. I like the direction they're going, and I think this is amazing for the Soulblight Gravelords. Yeah, really, really, really cool. It's a nice change to mix it up and try something new. This is the sort of thing that I might sculpt for my own stuff, my Blood God stuff, you know, this sort of strange, this lower half of this body here, this type of design, and then blending it with some humanoid forms. Another centaur, really, right? So there's two for one today. But yeah, look, I mean, it's a really cool idea. I love the way all these little, I guess, little end spikes, how they're designed, you know, wrapping in on itself like that. Yeah, it's a very, very cool composition, and the female figure here is done really well. The face is beautiful, the way the hair flows down, everything about this is really awesome. You know, I might even be tempted to sort of expose more of the join and remove these little side pieces so you can see more of the connection, because I think that's like cool, you know. And if they haven't sculpted much like organic stuff in here, that's a really perfect spot to kind of expose some of the warping nature of how, you know, these two sort of disparate anatomies come together. If it was my model, I was sculpting this, there would be no armor here, and that would be, there might be like a cloth thing here, but there would be a lot of you know, mutated flesh and so on, sculpting up into the back there. That'd be really, really awesome. You know, a good place for like spines or something interesting going on in the back. But yeah, I really like this. This is a beautiful model, and her name is Luca Vi, I think, the Mother of Nightmares. So yeah, really, really cool. Very, very cool model. You know, that's going to really add a nice centerpiece to any undead army. And we got some of the, so here we go. We got the close-ups here. This tail's really cool. I like the way it goes dark at the base. But yeah, it would be nice to see some spines. I don't know if there is that sort of begging for spines running up the back. Very classic motif, but still, you know, it's always cool. Very classic. But yeah, this head's really nice. I like the way they've done that. Yeah, it's awesome. And then we've got the variant here if you want to do your own lord, your own vampire lord. And I think that's a nice choice. Nice they've added that in, so there is that option. And yeah, the side view here, I love all this, the way the boniness of it and everything like that. Obviously the chick is probably the better of the two, but I like this. I do like this a lot. I think I like this, but I'd probably change this arm. So let's take a look. I'd probably use like her arm here, or maybe even the whole thing, and just add the head maybe into that one. Or if I'm going to have the raised, then I would, change that out. Or maybe that is the same arm. Maybe it's just from a different angle. That's weird. Maybe I'd just cut it there and tip it down a bit, maybe, just so that when you're looking at it from that angle, this is kind of like covering up the face a little bit. So I just want to shift it over a touch. But then again, you know, we're looking at it from a weird angle, so it's hard to say. But everything else is like beautiful. This is great. So there's a lot of potential there for conversions. I can see actually a lot of chaos conversions coming from this. So a lot of chaos players are going to be using this stuff for sure. You know, Slanesh or Nurgle or anything. Like, this is a great lower half of a body for a Nurgle demon or something like that. I can see already tons of stuff there. And then we have this really beautiful looking thing. So Radika the Beast, I think this is coming from Curse City. So this is like the evolution form of, I think, the vampire from that box game. So yeah, I mean, what more can I say? This is just great, right? There's so much going on here. Beautiful design work, the armor work, everything is really coming together really well. You've got, you know, just a nice classic strong pose. All the little elements here. The blood coming down into the chalice there. That's all great. All of these interlocking pieces. You know, really beautiful. And there's tons of conversion possibilities here. Again, tons of Chaos players are going to be loving this, because there's, you know, finally some better proportioned, larger type models that you can use for your demon princes. You know what I mean? Because that old one is getting on a bit, and it's nice to see some, even just the lower half. This section here is great, because it's going to give you more to work with if you want to do a demon prince. So there's a lot of good possibilities here for a lot of different armies that want to use this. So yeah, really, really beautiful. We'll see some details. Yeah, just all good. You got like a little bit of the blood there, a bit of hair on the back, a lot of chances for some different types of, you know, blending work and different color changes on the skin. There's a whole range of different options here for this guy that you could really play around with and mix him up. Face is cool, everything's good. And then we have another one. So there's tons and tons of named characters for vampires, which is great. You know, it makes the army really, really characterful and interesting. So we have Belladama, is it? Volga, first of the Vikos or the Viakos or something like that. So yeah, one of the vampire bloodlines. And yeah, she's great too. I love the wolves. They're very classic looking wolves, which is nice. A nice difference from, let's say, your undead wolves. These are sort of more living type wolves, and possibly like lower caste vampires maybe that are transformed. And then she has like the little wolfy feet, which is kind of humorous, but you know, that's cool. And yeah, just overall, just a really interesting choice, you know, and all the big furs and everything fits in with the rest of it. I mean, it's a beautiful model, right? So there's a ton of options options there for people. Then we come down to the chaff of the army. We've got the we've got the dire wolves. I think a lot of people have been waiting for these for a while, and they look really great. They're awesome. Nice sculpts with all the different little undead bits. We can see some close-ups there. Yeah, there's not much more to say. They're wolves. They look good. They'll fit in with the army. A lot of other armies can use these for parts and bits and stuff like that. So yeah, even space wolves and stuff like that. If you wanted to clean up all of this, they might be really cool wolves for them as well. And yeah, I think that's probably about it. Yeah, we can see a picture there of everything together. So there's still a few things that are around. You've got the corpse card here. You've got your Terrorgeist, and you've got a whole bunch of even got some of the flesh eater courts in the background. So that might mean that we can ally. Playing flesh eater courts. That might mean we can ally some of these guys in. That would be imagine this thing in a flesh eater courts army. That'd be amazing. So hopefully this has good keywords on it, so we can use it for other death armies. That'd be amazing. But otherwise, yeah, look, amazing bunch of models. I can't say more about it. It's awesome. I've always been undead player. I mean, I have a whole brand dedicated to necromancy. You know what I mean? I like undead, and demons and stuff like that. So, I think more of this type of thing is great. I love how they're trying to push a lot of this sort of crazy anatomy and stuff into the army. I think that's really, really cool. It's something I'm, very, very interested in and focused on. I really love doing that myself, and yeah, obviously they do too, because the sculptors there look like they've gone to town on this. So yeah, but I can see how this wouldn't be for everyone, but for me personally, this is an amazing model. So I think that's where I'll leave it on. Hope you've enjoyed this. Please hit the subscribe button, notify button, all that if you've liked what you've seen. Hope this helps you out, just to let you know what's coming and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I guess I'll catch you on the next one.